Hi, this is the CAD-CAM Lessons channel, and in this video I would like to discuss a topic that comes up very often in conversations about FreeCAD. Is FreeCAD perfect? It is not. Does FreeCAD have problems? It does. Can it sometimes be frustrating? Definitely yes. But does that mean FreeCAD makes no sense, is not suitable for work, and is not worth learning? In my opinion, absolutely not. And that is exactly what this video will be about, because when we talk about CAD programs, we very often fall into a trap of black and white thinking. Either a program is perfect, professional, polished, and the best, or it is weak and not worth wasting time on. But reality is a little more practical because a CAD program doesn't have to be perfect to be useful. For me, FreeCAD is a very good example of this kind of tool. It is not perfect, it is not for everyone, and it will not always be the best choice, but in many situations it can be good enough to solve a specific problem, and sometimes that is exactly what matters most. Let us start with something simple. When someone asks whether FreeCAD is good, the first question should be good for what? Because we will evaluate FreeCAD very differently if we compare it with an expensive CAD system in a large manufacturing company where several people work on shared assemblies, documentation, part libraries, PDM, and very specific procedures than if we evaluate it from the perspective of someone who wants to design a simple bracket enclosure, spacer, adapter part for 3D printing, or a single part for a workshop. These are two different worlds, and the problem begins when we apply one standard to FreeCAD for every possible use. If someone expects a free open source program to be as convenient, polished, and predictable in every respect as very expensive commercial CAD systems, they will probably be disappointed very quickly. But if someone is looking for a tool that will allow them to learn the basics of 3D modeling, prepare their own designs, create technical parts, and work without licensing costs, then FreeCAD starts to look completely different, not as a perfect CAD system, but as a very useful tool. And this brings us to the most important point. Usefulness doesn't mean perfection. Usefulness means that a tool helps us complete a specific job. A hammer is not the perfect tool for everything either, but if you need to drive in a nail, it is very useful. A basic phone camera will not replace a professional camera in every situation, but for most people it is good enough to take a picture of a document, a product, a note, or something they want to show someone quickly. And FreeCAD is similar. It doesn't have to be the best at everything. It is enough if in a specific situation it allows us to do what we need, and very often it does. We can create sketches in it, we can build parametric solids, we can change dimensions, we can export models for 3D printing, we can prepare simple technical parts, we can create technical drawings, we can work with step files, we can learn the basics of design thinking, and for many people that is already extremely valuable, especially if they previously had no access to any proper 3D CAD system. One of FreeCAD's greatest advantages is, of course, that it is free, but I wouldn't reduce its value only to the fact that you don't have to pay for it, because a free tool can be completely useless if it doesn't allow us to do anything meaningful. However, FreeCAD is interesting because it is free and at the same time allow us to create real 3D models. And that changes the situation for many people. For a hobbyist who owns a 3D printer, for someone who wants to design something for their home, for a small workshop, for a teacher, for a student, for someone checking whether 3D modeling interests them at all, and for someone who doesn't want to or cannot pay a monthly subscription for CAD programs. In situations like this, FreeCAD can be a very good starting point, even if it is not perfect, because the barrier to entry is low. You can download it, install it, and start learning. You don't have to decide whether buying a license is worthwhile, and you don't have to wonder whether the program will become too expensive after the trial period. You don't have to worry that your project will be locked a few months later because access to your account has expired. Of course, learning still takes time, but at least entering this world is easier. And now, an important point. I don't want to say that FreeCAD has no flaws, because it does. The interface can be a little chaotic for beginners, and some things are less intuitive than in other programs. Sometimes you need to know which workbench contains a specific command. Sometimes an operation that seems very simple in another program requires several additional steps in FreeCAD. There can also be problems with the parametric model. Sometimes, after changing an earlier sketch, something breaks, something loses its reference, or the model needs to be repaired. There are situations in which you need to learn good working habits in FreeCAD. For example, not attaching everything to random edges, not building the model too chaotically, and not assuming that every change will always work without a problem. But that is also an important lesson, because parametric modeling requires thought in every program. FreeCAD can be less forgiving than some commercial systems, but that doesn't mean it teaches you nothing. Quite the opposite. Sometimes it teaches you a great deal because it forces you to understand what you are actually doing. We are not simply clicking one icon after another. We need to understand the sketch, constraints, relationships, the order of operations, planes, references, and the structure of the model, and these are fundamentals that will be useful in every CAD system. It is also worth looking at FreeCAD from a beginner's perspective. Beginners often look for a program that will be easy, fast, clear, and immediately enjoyable, and that is understandable, but there is another side to it. At the beginning, the most important thing is not for the program to have the absolute best interface on the market. The most important thing is learning a way of thinking, how to turn a real object into a simple solid, how to start with a sketch, how to add dimensions, how to use an extrusion, how to make a hole, how to add a fillet, how to understand the relationship between a sketch and an operation, and how to modify a model without creating everything again from scratch. And if you learn these things in FreeCAD, that knowledge doesn't remain only in FreeCAD, because it is general knowledge about 3D modeling. Of course, every program has its own interface and its own tools, but the basic logic is very similar. That is why FreeCAD can be a good place to learn, even if someone later switches to another program, because FreeCAD teaches the fundamentals, and the fundamentals are more important than a specific icon in a specific place. Another point is practical use. Sometimes the discussion about FreeCAD becomes very theoretical. Is it suitable for professional work? Can it be used in a company? Can it replace expensive CAD systems? Is it stable enough? These are important questions, but they are often too general, because in practice many people don't need a CAD system for designing complex machines. They need a tool for simple and moderately advanced tasks. For example, someone runs a small workshop and occasionally needs to design a spacer, a bracket, a simple plate with holes, or some kind of auxiliary part. Someone has a 3D printer and wants to make their own adapter, organizer, or replacement part. Someone is creating a prototype and needs to check a shape quickly. Someone is learning design and simply wants to understand how parametric modeling works. And in cases like this, the question is not, is FreeCAD the best CAD system in the world? The question is, does FreeCAD allow me to complete this task? And very often the answer is yes. Perhaps not always in the most convenient way, perhaps not always in the fastest way, and perhaps sometimes you need to find a workaround, but in the end you can create the model, export the file, and continue using it, and that means the tool works. I also like to look at FreeCAD as a tool that provides independence, because in the world of software, more and more things are subscription based. You pay every month, you have an account, and you have access. But when you stop paying, the situation changes. And of course, I'm not saying that subscriptions are always bad. In many companies, they are a normal cost of doing business. If a program pays for itself every day, then paying for a license can be completely reasonable. But not everyone is in that situation. For many people, the cost of a program is a real barrier, especially if they use CAD irregularly, for example, once a week, once a month, or only for their own projects, and then FreeCAD provides something very valuable. It provides the ability to work without constantly thinking about licensing costs, the ability to return to a project after a year, the ability to learn without pressure, and the ability to experiment. And even if the program has limitations, that independence is very important to many people. Of course, it also needs to be said clearly. FreeCAD will not be the best choice for everyone. If you work in a company where the entire team uses a specific CAD system, where standards, libraries, documentation, and workflows are already established, then you probably will not change everything just because FreeCAD is free. If you need very complex assemblies, advanced industry-specific tools, then FreeCAD may not meet those requirements. Similarly, if you earn your living by designing every day and every hour of work matters, then sometimes a more expensive program can simply be cheaper in practice because it allows you to work faster, and that is normal. The point is not to pretend that FreeCAD is always the best solution. The point is to evaluate it fairly, not through the lens of dreams about a perfect program, but through the lens of a specific use case. For some people, it will be too limited, for others, it will be sufficient, and for still others, it will be exactly what they need. And this brings us to something that, in my opinion, is very important when learning CAD. Don't wait for the perfect tool before you begin, because it is easy to fall into the trap of comparing programs. This one has a better interface, this one has better assemblies, this one has better renderings, this one has better shortcuts, this one has better documentation, and this one is more popular in companies. And suddenly, instead of modeling, we spend several weeks analyzing which program to choose. Meanwhile, the greatest progress appears when we simply start creating models. Simple models, imperfect models, models with mistakes, but models of our own. Because only then do we truly learn. And FreeCAD doesn't have to be perfect for you to create your first sketch. It doesn't have to be perfect for you to understand an extrusion. It doesn't have to be perfect for you to design a simple bracket. It doesn't have to be perfect for you to prepare files for 3D printing. It doesn't have to be perfect for you to learn the basics, and at the beginning, this is exactly what matters most. You could also say that FreeCAD changes our expectations a little. In commercial programs, we often expect convenience, smoothness, and polish, and rightly so, because that is what we pay for. In FreeCAD, you sometimes need more patience, but in return, we receive something different. We receive a program that is developed as an open project. We receive the ability to work without licensing fees. We receive a tool that can be used for learning, hobbies, small projects, prototypes, and many practical tasks. We receive a system that may not always guide the user by the hand, but it provides real capabilities. And in my opinion, it is worth looking at FreeCAD in exactly this way. Not as an inferior copy of a commercial program, but as a separate tool with its own strengths and weaknesses. If we accept its limitations, it becomes easier to see its value, because very often the problem is not even FreeCAD itself. The problem is expectations. If someone opens FreeCAD and expects to be designing like they would in a professional system after 15 minutes, they will probably give up. But the same thing can happen in many other CAD programs. 3D modeling requires learning, it requires practice, it requires several unsuccessful projects, and it requires understanding that a parametric model must be built with a certain logic. FreeCAD doesn't remove that difficulty, but it gives you access to a tool on which you can work through that difficulty. And over time, things that seem chaotic at first begin to make sense. Sketches become more organized, operations begin to form a logical whole, we start predicting what might break, and we start building models in a way that makes them easier to modify later. And then FreeCAD becomes increasingly useful, not because it suddenly became perfect, but because we better understand how to use it. And I think that is a good conclusion for this video. FreeCAD doesn't have to be perfect to be useful. It doesn't have to win every comparison. It doesn't have to be the best choice for every company. It doesn't have to have the most attractive interface. It doesn't have to be the most convenient CAD program on the market. But It can be a tool that allows you to begin. It can be a tool that allows you to learn the basics. It can be a tool that allows you to design a real part. It can be a tool that is useful at home, in a workshop, with a 3D printer, or for small projects. And in many cases, that really is enough, because in practice, we don't always need a perfect tool. Sometimes we need a tool that is available, good enough, and allows us to take the next step. And FreeCAD can be exactly that kind of tool. Not for everyone, not for everything, not without flaws, but still very useful. If you are only beginning to learn FreeCAD, my advice is simple. Don't judge this program after the first several minutes. Give yourself time, create a few simple models, learn sketches, constraints, extrusions, holes, fillets, and basic parametric work, and only then decide whether this tool suits your needs. Because it may turn out that despite all its imperfections, FreeCAD is good enough for you, and sometimes good enough is exactly what we need.